like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
It's good. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. We in this Thanks Sports Coma representing the mighty Who Dat Nation. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being in the live, man. Listen, I started the broadcast off, man, but check this picture out, man. This is they posted this on the Saints Twitter, man. I don't know if you guys seen this. This is a picture, obviously, of Drew Brees, but do you recognize the guy to the left of him? That's Rashid Shaheed, man. A fifth grade picture of Rashid Shaheed, and obviously he met him, I guess, in Costco or Sam's Club, one of those type of warehouse deals. But that's absolutely amazing to me, man. This is fifth grade Rashid Shaheed next to Drew Brees, and then of course Rashid Shaheed is a Saint. Man, is this stuff telegraphed?
Talk, boy!
Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the live, man. We up in this Thanks Sports Coma representing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. That is absolutely wild, man. And here's the picture. And according to the tweet, it says that Rashid Shaheed, he's holding the picture that him and Drew Brees met, and that is absolutely wild to me, man. That is amazing. That's crazy. All right, give me just a second, fam. Absolutely crazy, man. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. We in this thing, Sports Coma representing about the business, man. That picture right there was really something else. Shout out to YO, Big Q, we good. If Simmons stunting, LOL. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you for the super chat.
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
Hey, man, you know, it's absolutely crazy, this picture, man. That kind of threw me for a loop because I was, man, that's amazing. And then Rashid Shaheed today, of recently on Tuesday, photograph. I think that's absolutely fantastic, man. Isn't that crazy, man? That's absolutely crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. Anyway, fam, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys being in the live. Much love to you guys. Good to see you. Black Major, Pelicans, Nola, Will Cameron. What's up, bro? Trey Joseph. What's happening, Trey? How you doing, brother? The Bullard Family Travel Vlog is in the building. Tuck, shout out to you. YO, Bobby the Space Ghost. What's up, Randolph from Keeping It Real, Who Dat Podcast. Shout out to you, brother. Devin, brother Devon is in this thing. Robert Bro, shout out to you. Who Dat Dude and me. He says, did you see Minnesota is kind of Saints Carr per sources? I don't think that's a fake account, I think, bro. I researched it when, matter of fact, I went and looked it up. DC sent me something. And I went and looked up the sources, man. And then when they tried to hook up the article, they said Raiders Wire was responsible. Then you go into Raiders Wire, that article doesn't even exist. So I think somebody just playing games, fam. The Saints wouldn't trade not Drew Brees. The Saints wouldn't trade Derek Carr right now. They just wouldn't. And that just been major disrespectful to Sam Darnold. So yeah, I think that's a bunch of hooey there, who that dude to me. That don't exist. All right, Dr. Key, shout out to you. How you doing, Sports View 360? Much love to you, fam. Appreciate you. T Will, what's happening, fam? Yes, bro. Yeah, it's fake. Yeah, it's fake, bro. Yeah, it's not hard to tell when you it's attached to Raiders Wire, but when you hit the article and go into Raiders Wire and you look for the article, it doesn't exist. So somebody they were playing games, man. It was bullshit. All right, so shout out to you, Kevin. Big ups to you, man. Good to see y'all in there. Much love, fam. So anyway, but that's what we hear, to ferret all of the BS, to ferret it all out. A lot of people people don't like Carr so much. Not everybody, but certain people don't like Derek Carr. They was like, man, let's make it pop. What y'all want? Y'all want a 4th round, 3rd? Just give us in it. No, they're not gonna move on that right now. But anyway, I just thought that was cool, man. We're gonna cover some black and gold news today, man. We're gonna go over the Saints news of the day, and that is training camp as well. Shout out to you guys for being in the stream. Please feel free to hit the like button as well. If you're not a subscriber, smash on the subscribe button and share the show on your social media feed. It helps us out as we get ready to go. Shout out to John Hendricks and my brother Kyle T. Mosley, Bob Rose, brother Ross over at the Saints News Network. I'm always giving them shots out because the brothers put in excellent work, man. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you so much. All right, so we're going to cover that. We're going to talk about some of the transactions. The Saints did have a transaction to report. Also, we're going to play Derek Carr had a recent interview that he did, a one-on-one interview. We're also going to kind of go into Dennis Allen presser today. We're going to kind of go into that as well with DA's presser. And yes, and of course, yeah, DC sent me a link to they clipped Dennis Allen at the press conference, not knowing what a metaphor is. And listen, fam, some of us know what certain words are, some of us don't. Well, I would expect you to kind of pick up the context clues on that. But we're gonna get into it. My goodness, man, please no, please, brother, please no, DA. Come on, old possum puss, bro. Come on, brother. Anyway, man, let's keep it going. We know he ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. We've been saying that. We've been saying he about a couple of cans short of a 6-pack. We've been saying that for a while too. So none of this is new news, fam. Just to be honest with you, none of it's new news to talk about it, bro.
Boy!
It really ain't. Oh my God, man. Anyway, man, shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the stream, man. What's up, Charlie? Shout out to you, man. Can you two use in the house, brother? Roll. Big ups to you, brother Michael Morgan. Clarence, how you doing, sir? I see you, fam. Appreciate you. No word on Simmons, bro. No word on Simmons yet. The Falcons did trade for linebacker Matthew Judon. They did trade for him today. So they are, and like I said, man, the Atlanta Falcons. What's up, Ark? How you doing, fam? Appreciate you, fam, for dropping in. Poppy 504. Yeah. That was confirmed, bro. That the Judon trade is real, and they are getting it. So, man, so the Falcons. That's not really a surprise with the Falcons, is it? Who's running the show over there? It's the old Saints, man. So we about the business, man. We about the business, and you're an old Saints man, not name making. All right, shout out to the fam, man. Sorry about that, man. We had a quick power outage, just flash power outage. And of course, when that goes out, your damn internet goes out. You got to wait for it to start back on. But we back in this thing, man. Shout out to you. Now, anyway, man, let's get back to business, man, before hopefully that don't happen. That don't usually rarely happen, man. We must have something coming through the area. But big ups to the fam, man. We up in this thing. Big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all waiting in the live, man. But anyway, man, listen, let's get back into it. Another of the situations we're going to talk about today with the Saints training camp day. Let's kind of get right on into that, man, to kind of get that popping and snapping. If you guys can hear me pretty good, please feel free. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear your boy, man. Refresh if y'all ain't refresh. Click it. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear me. All right. Thank you, Tuck. Appreciate you, fam. What's up, Robert? How you doing? What's up, Relly? All right. Yes. All right. T. Will. Hold on, I got your ass. Don't hold on. I keep that thing on me. Yeah. I shout out your internet. I'll talk that shit now, Q. Yeah. All right, man. Big thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. All right, so anyway, let's get into this article, man. Shout out to John Hendricks, man. Covering this one for day number 16 for the Saints. And a lot of stuff was talked about in terms of the quarterback play. That's obviously something that kind of has taken full, thing. So, I mean, it's all gravy, man, in this situation because that's the lively conversation that we're talking about currently, right? The Saints quarterback situation, Derek Carr kind of struggling in his first matchup, the backup quarterbacks outperforming the rookie, the established veteran quarterback. So it's very interesting to see the whole thing play out the way it's playing, man, because it adds an extra spice on the preseason, because a lot of these games, like last year, we'd be going along with them, but you'd be like, hurry up, just get this over with so we can get to the regular season. But man, let me tell you something. This year, the rhythm is really good to see these two quarterbacks competing for the backup spot. And Carr, with the pressure of the young quarterback, putting pressure on Derek Carr to perform, he's had a better practice in day 16, man. So anyway, let's see what John had to report. Another Saints training camp practice in the books. And he says Saints still have a good bit of questions, actually primarily on the offensive side of the ball. As camp winds down in California, we have just 2 more practices to view before they head to San Francisco to take on the Niners. And then this is what he had to perform here. So the QB performances, quarterback finished on the day by chart. And you can see Derek Carr went 17 of 23. Jake Haener was 7 for 11. And Spencer was 5 for 8 and the touchdown. Then it covers a lot of what happened. The Saints jumped into team drills and quickly did 5 separate series in addition to the development period. The first series started on the Saints 35-yard line. And then the series goes as Carr had 2 of those. You see there. And a bunch of stuff happened from the 35-yard line. The Saints started with Jamal Williams, was a short run to the left. Well, this is not that we're slinging him, but I did note that Trevor Penning ended up on the ground on the play. Oh man, come man. Oh, that's something else. That's pretty funny. John Hendricks. He said, I did not. He says, but not that we're singling them out, but I did note that Trevor Penning ended up on the ground on the play. Okay. Number 40 from the 40-yard line, Jamal Williams intermediate run to the left, DeMarco Jackson on the stop. From the 40 line again, it's a completion, short pass, Taysom Hill on the right flat, gain of 5 yards, Willie Gay on the stop. From the 42, complete short pass to Jordan Mims to the right flats for a short gain. Trevor Penning was flagged for holding on the call. Oh, man. Damn. On that play, Trevor Penning was flagged for a hold on the play. From the 43, Jordan Mims, short run to the left, to the outside left, Carl Granderson. From the 43-yard line again, complete deep left pass to Chris Olave for a gain of 22 yards. Caleb Ford Dement, who was the new defensive back, the Saints brought in Tyrann Mathieu were there. Matthew wasn't happy about the result on the play, noted that Fuaga had a solid rap against Chase Young. So good to see one of our young tackles doing their thing. Jake Haener comes into the game. James Robinson, they start from the 49-yard line. Running back James Robinson inside run to the left for a short gain. Kaliki Hudson on the stop. From the 49, James Robinson run to the right side, short gain. Anthony Orgy's there. Defense played the play from the 49, false start on the offense. From the 46, it was a complete pass short to Dalen Hawker, the tight end, in the right flats for a short gain. Shamar John Charles was there to stop him. Midfield, complete short pass over the middle to Stanley Markin Jr. Kool-Aid McKinstry was there for him to stop him for a short gain. It was a crossing right from right to left. Midfield, James Robinson pitch left for a short game. DeMarco Jackson was there. Jackson had a really nice pop on the tackle, and a lot of people are starting to see DeMarco Jackson step up. But DeMarco Jackson's always been a solid run stuffing linebacker. His issues is in coverage, which some people say he's improved upon, and rightfully so, right? He had a couple of years in the Saints defense. All right, defensive from the defense 44, incomplete short pass to the left intended for Kevin Austin Jr. Caleb Ford Dement was there. Caleb Hayner rolled left off play action, and a flag was called on offense in the process, likely due to a hole. Isaiah Foskey, the snowman, had the pressure on the play while Ford Dement had the pass breakup in process. And then we transitioned to Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler then had his thing from the 44, complete short pass to the right flats to Adam Prentice for a short gain. Shamar Jean Charles on the stop. Next play from the 44, Jacob Caboti, the running back, intermediate run inside left, was a nice run by the undrafted rookie that got to the second level. Then, of course, the 39, complete short pass to the right to Adam Prentice for a short gain, and Mike Rose, the linebacker, was on the stop. Nico Lalos had pressure on the play. Team series number 2, which focused on third down defense with the team moving the ball back 4 down distances. And here's all the sequences. Derek Carr was 5-5 in this particular situation. He had 5 of them. So anyway, from the 38-yard line, 33 complete, short flat to Taysom Hill, Kaliki Hudson, and Tyrann Mathieu there. Short hookup that went for a first down. From the 35, 3rd and 5, complete deep right pass to Chris Olave for 30 yards. Alante Taylor on the stop. Great job by Olave. All right, then the 3rd and 7, complete slant left to Kevin Austin Jr. for a short gain. Shamar Jean Charles was there. From the 31, it was a 3rd and 9, complete quick out left to Chris Olave for a short gain. Kool-Aid McKinstry on the stop. From the 29, the 3rd and 11, complete an intermediate pass to Foster Monroe. Jonathan Abram on the stop. Foskey applied pressure, working against Trevor Penning, but it resulted in the first down. Now, from the 35, 3rd and 5, Jamal Williams went inside zone to the left for a first down. Run got to the second level and looked good. So you've seen Jamal Williams in a couple of these in the last game, running with some intensity, showing some passion in the game. And we just need the offensive line to release the beast, man, because Jamal Williams isn't a bum, man. He just, like a lot of our running backs last year, struggled mightily because the offensive line wasn't complete. It didn't, meaning complete, that it didn't play a complete solid year. We struggled early on in the year for like 3 months to run the ball consistently until the Saints finally got in the last month of the regular season. We have to have more consistency than that. Jake Hayner 4-5 from the 34, 3rd and 6, complete short right pass to Dalen Harkle. Rajon Wright on the stop. From the 32 was 3rd and 8, complete short pass to left to Cedric Wilson Jr. for a short gain. JT Gray was there. Both Peyton Turner and Nathan Shepard had pressure on the play, with Shepard getting past rookie Josiah Israhim with relative ease. Just like what happened in the game. Remember, Israhim was in there and looked like somebody nailed his feet to the ground. The guy ran right past him. All right. So anyway, let's keep it going. From the Saints 30, 3rd and 10, complete short middle pass to James Robinson. Alante Taylor was there. From the 28, 3rd and 12, complete screen left to Kevin Rader for a short gain. Monty Rice, Isaiah Foskey, and Peyton Turner all had pressure. From the 38, 3rd and 2, James Robinson flipped left, minimal gain. Monty Rice on the stop. Monty Rice been looking real solid of late, and he led the linebackers, the whole team basically in tackles. He had 7 tackles in the first preseason matchup, and Monty Rice is not a rookie. He's in his 4th year, and he's a former 3rd-round pick. I thought Monty Rice might be that 3rd linebacker, man. So we're going to see what he do, man. He's starting to look more natural at that position. Got to give him some credit. From the 34, 3rd and 6, incomplete short pass right intended for Jordan Mims. Rico Payton's on the stop. Mims made an attempt, but then dropped it. Of course, it talks about Spencer Rattler from his 31st, from the Saints 31, 3rd and 9, Spencer keeper to the left for a short game. Nico Lalos had the pressure. The play broke down. Then from the Saints 37, it was a 3rd and 3. Jacob Caboti had inside zone left for a first down. Then from their 33 is a 3rd and 7, incomplete pass broken up at the line of scrimmage by Kendall Vickers, the interior defensive tackle. So that's just some of the plays that happened with our defense, man. And just to be honest with you, it was they did some very positive things to kind of get going, but Jay Kaner, but a lot of what we were seeing in some of these practices, like you watch some of the highlights on some of the practices, just basically showing them going at it, and just Derek Carr had a much better practice. But can we translate some of this stuff into? And like I said, it's just still early on. I'm gonna be a little bit more patient in terms of what we need to do in terms of just looking how everything goes, man. You know, and with the Saints offense running it vanillally. And then, of course, that like those first two series last game, I'm more than certain that we'll see the first team again in the next preseason game against the 49ers. You got to, you know what I mean, fam? You can't leave it looking like that. Of course, let's kind of jump into some of the attendance reports right here. Health of the Saints still is tends to be trending in the right direction. They still can't get a day where they just move forward. Among those not spotted at Wednesday practice, A.T. Perry with the ankle, Millard Bradford, Elvin Kamara back tightness, Isaiah Stallbert with an ankle, Nick Seldevary with a calf, Kyler Baugh, who was released, Trajan Jeffcoat with that elbow, and Michael Jacobson. Kyle Ball was waived for Mason Fairchild. So this is one of the transactions the Saints had reported, as we just jump right into it, is that the New Orleans Saints executive VP and general manager Slick Mickey Loomis announced today that the club has signed tight end Mason Fairchild and waived defensive tackle Kyler Baugh. So Fairchild, 6'4", 260, joins the black and gold for the second time. Remember, they had him before. He played 5 years at the University of Kansas. Fairchild appeared in 56 games, 18 starts, 82 passes, over 1,100 yards, 13.5 average. Pretty good, with 10 touchdowns. So there you go here, a big tight end, not only with some blocking, but Mason Fairchild had some pass catchability as well. So most of our tight ends, period, man, you got Juwan Johnson and Foster Monroe, those guys, those veterans. And then, of course, Dale and Hawker. A lot of people like Dale and Hawker and think he can really be something special for the Saints tight end situation. And I think he's the future of the position, to be honest with you. All right, coming back to the article. He was in the 82. Bub Means and Rashid Shaheed weren't in red. They weren't in a red 9-contact jersey and participated in individual and team drills. Equimia St. Brown was still in his red jersey and only did individual. So Demario Davis participated in walkthroughs and some individual drills. There was a lot of Saints players working off to the side, which included Ugo Amadi, Pete Werner, Kendre Miller, Paul Senadebo, Juwan Johnson, Mason Tipton, and Mac McCain later. There was a brief scare at practice with Cesar Ruiz getting injured after a team snap. He was clearly frustrated and in pain and went to the tent after getting looked at, but eventually returned. The Saints can't afford to lose any main contributors, let alone someone on the starting offensive line. Jalen Ford did leave practice early, with Dennis Allen called the other hamstring issue. Jalen Ford just having an unfortunate situation going on with them in this situation. Of course, here it is, the opening drive. Dennis Allen said Tuesday's practice, and we'll play this interview coming up. They wanted to get more work in and no joint practices in the play. The Saints offense and defensive coaches didn't have ideas of what plays were being called by the other today. New Orleans ran 5 team periods in addition to their development one. Carl Sheffers, whose crew was out there officiating today's practice, they'll be around for the next couple of days. Allen's comments regarding players who aren't getting back on the field for practice were interesting, to say the least. He said if players can't be out at practice, how can he evaluate them? He pointed out how he has been with Demario since 2018, knows where things stand with him. Derek Carr started his day 9-9, going 3 for 3 in first team period, and then 5 for 5 on the second team period. He hit the next pass in the first series of the third team period, and then the throw in the dirt due to some pressure on the second series. When I say there was some tough moments for the Saints offense that seemed to spark some controversy, it was for the entire offense. Some added context that there's still some glaring issues with protection. Trevor Penning is struggling, and he was on the ground a few times that got beat in protection. The first team offense did have some strong moments. It looked pretty good overall to build off Tuesday's practice, but at the end of their sequence was sloppy. So thank you, and shout out to brother John Hendricks and my brother Kyle T. Mosley over at the Saints News Network. You know, those guys always do a stellar job, and they tell it like it is and keep it real. So much love to you guys. Appreciate what you have been bringing to the table. As we get ready to kind of transition into this article, we're going to play, actually this interview that we're going to kind of get ready to go as we got Derek Carr's one-on-one interview. So if you guys got your, if you're not in the kitchen right now, I invite you guys to go get your dressing because you're about to be inundated by some word salad. So if you don't have your dressing by now, too damn bad. Here go Derek Carr. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear.
Quarterback Derek Carr, I'm Aaron Summers. Derek, from the beginning of this offseason to where you're at now, how much more smooth is the offense operating?
Oh, it's been much better. Yeah, we're at that point where we're really excited about, getting these games going, getting the season going. Obviously preseason, you just do, the basic stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it's really just getting the operation, getting back out there through the, the stretch, the live game kind of aspect, getting the calls in and out. But, we're really excited for the regular season start and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be awesome.
What excites you about this Kubiak offense?
It's just you've seen, so many times on film as you're studying, the success it's had, and not just with him, but just with other people all over the NFL and all over for years. And, that's exciting as a quarterback, that how they game plan, how they do things, how they show things. That stuff right there is exciting for me because I know that they're going to just try and put me in the best possible position as a quarterback, using my skill set, things I think that I'm good at, things that I think that I probably haven't, used or gotten to use as much, being able to do that. So I'm excited, man, just to, learn from him and play for him because it's been a lot of fun in camp, getting on the same page with him.
What of your strengths, your skill sets are utilized the best in this offense?
Really, there's times where, my mind is being used a certain way and then my legs, like I'm actually being asked and put in positions to use them. And, I've always felt like a good athlete,
It's funny. I was talking to quarterback coach Andrew Janoko, and he said you've told him over and over again you're athletic and you can do it.
Yeah, I keep telling him because I just, you learn from things and you're just like, look, I'm just going to tell you right from the get-go. So showing him videos of me dunking and, doing all that. Like, I was like, bro, I can do this, So there's been times, you guys have seen him at camp, where I've gotten to run and get out there on the edge and just help the team in a different way. And that's, just all I'm looking forward to.
We've seen some great connections with you and wide receiver Chris Olave. Where has he taken the biggest stride?
I just think that coming into this year, he knows he's the number one guy. Obviously last year with Mike T, being here and, coming back from injury, there was this gray area of, where's the ball going to go? How are the coaches going to scheme that, right? Who's going to be number one in the reads? Who's going to be two? There was a lot of gray area there. For them, maybe the coaches knew exactly what they were going to do. But, for us coming into this year, Chris knows he's the number one guy. And his mentality, his focus, his communication with me, after every single play, has been, I think the most impressive thing to me. So, that part of it, we've played football together. Now it's just about ironing out this offense and these things. But, the fact that we've played together, that we know how to talk to each other, we know how to communicate, I think that's the exciting part for us, going into this season is that we've been there, we've grown together. Like any relationship, Pat Hill said, without confrontation, sometimes there's no growth. And no one likes to hear that, but it's actually true. And I believe that, Pat used to tell me that when I was a 18-year-old kid at Fresno State. So, we've grown so much together and our whole team's in such a great place. And so I'm just excited about, getting this work in and seeing what Chris can do this year.
We are in a great place. We're here in Southern California. I've seen your family running around at practices. Yeah. How good has it been here to be with them and be on the West Coast?
Yeah, it's been, this is where I'm from, and for anybody to be able to practice, where you're from, having family and friends and all those things is fun, but at the same time, there's only like 20 people here. We miss New Orleans. Yeah. Like there's, that second week, third week of camp, you're like, we need our fans, we need our fans right now. So, we miss our fans. You miss there's some of these plays I wish that they could have seen in person. There's been some crazy plays, some fun deep balls and things like that I think they'd be excited about, and having some, hope going into the season and all that. But, being here has been nice, but we definitely do miss our fans.
Well, we'll see them soon. We'll be back in New Orleans before we know it. Derek, thank you so much for the time.
All right, that's Derek, man. Shout out to Derek Carr, right? I hope all you Who-Dats learned something from Mr. Carr right there. As he said, without conflict, there's no growth. That's what I got from that. So shout out to you guys as well. Do you agree with that statement at the very least? Do you believe without any conflict, there is no growth? There you go, Derek Carr dropping the nugget. Brother Quavada says, damn. He said, okay. All right, y'all tripping, man. Can you to you says, is this O-line going to give Carr 5 seconds back there? Hey, man, they got to. If it is, like I said, there's still some time left and there's still a lot of practices and a couple of preseason games to evaluate where the Saints need to be. If what they have is what they believe if they feel confident into what they have going into the season, then there's moves that need to be made. But, like I said, man, we already knew that we have guys on in that's inexperienced, and the Saints, if they're going to run this type of offense, they got to speed Carr up. They got to be able to run the ball effectively to kind of help out with those young offensive linemen. And if they're going to keep Penning on that side, first of all, Trevor Penning has to improve. He has to improve, and he is definitely struggling, and it's not a surprise to me because he hadn't really played a lot. It's his third year, and Trevor Penning really hadn't played a lot of games, man. He really hasn't. He really hadn't played that much, to be honest with you. So, and that's the thing about that's going on with the Saints, that when we look at Trevor Penning, man, he hadn't played a lot, man, and he got to get it together, and he got to get it together fast. Matter of fact, that's 23. Hold on here. Let me kind of put this together for some of the family members here. I'm trying to see how many games. He started a total of 6 games in 3 years. In 2022, he had 1 start, which was the last game I talked about. Hold on, let me put this on the screen for the family members so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. It's Trevor Penning. And as you can see, it shows right here in his rookie year, 2022, 6 games, 1 start. That was the Carolina game at the back of the year. The sophomore season, which most of these guys seem to struggle in, 17 games. He played in 5 games, and then they benched him, buried him on the team. So, and then, of course, you look at over 2 years, 6 starts. 6 starts in 2 years, fam. What you expect you're gonna get. And who, that's just what it is. So, I mean, John Benton, who's our new offensive line coach, believes he can do something with him. We do have time. We do have some time here, fam, to kind of see if we can kind of get this stuff together. That's the whole bottom line about it, to be honest with you. We got some time. We still have we still got a lot of practices to do and a couple of more preseason games. But, man, listen, we got to monitor the situation, man, to be honest with you. All right. Yeah. Brother Rose says Derek Carr needs to talk less and get your ass on the field. All right, all that meaningless BS. Yeah, for a lot of it's not working. Maybe that was the Raider people love that type of stuff, but the Saints people it's the environment. That's what I'm saying. When you look, it kind of do some research. Like, you got $150 million quarterback, and you're coming into this environment. A lot of the support base is out of patience. The last 3 years with no play. I mean, frustrating losses that shouldn't have been even happening. Just terrible, just back ass, inconsistent, garbage football. And you're patient in the first year. You're patient in the, and then you're patient in the second year. And then it's the way how Loomis handles the all of the energy, how he handles it. He doesn't handle it an intelligent way. He's snobby and elitist, even though he's an employee. So, I mean, it's really, it just rubbed the support base in a very raw way. And it's not good. And then Dennis Allen's not really, he's not a very outgoing coach. He comes off as aloof. His words are, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. Just it doesn't build confidence. CeeLo says, Q, have you ever noticed that Derek Carr looks like he's wearing, not this again, man. Oh man, yeah, there it is. The mascara is off. Now there you go. All right, yeah, I've seen. We talked about that a lot, man. Who's starting at left guard because Judon will line up at the left side on pass front with Saints play Falcons. Still a lot of time between that, fam. I mean, things could definitely change between now and then, bro. They're gonna do what they do. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna see if they can get these guys up to code. We know there was gonna be some bumps and bruises when you talk about adding a player an inexperienced, like I said with Trevor Penning. That's why I'm showing you the statistics, because he's been here for 2 years. He's played in 6 games. They didn't play him off in his rookie year. They played him 5 games in the second year. He struggled, and they benched him for the rest of the year. And like I said, they didn't deactivate him. They could have worked him back. And then in this year, they expect him, okay, now it's your turn to step up. So he's on the right side. And he's going to go through the lumps and bruises and all that kind of stuff that he was supposed to go through in his rookie campaign. He was supposed to, it's just a tough situation for him to be in, man, but he's got to pick it up. All right. So Rose says, where's the take no prisoners mentality? This stuff D&D is lip service. Yeah, they gotta do this, fam. That's what they gotta do. They gotta show the Who Dat Nation, man. They gotta show us what time it is. Richard says, I do not think Penning could start at Tulane the way he could start at Tulane. Hey, no, Tulane Tulane been looking good lately, bro. I've been checking them out, man. Tulane got a little a QB competition going on over there, man. Tulane gonna be a lot more competitive than you think. Looks like a boxer that decided he really don't like to get hit anymore. I bet Taysom could throw him down right now. Oh man. All right, so when you listen to DADC, it's like a leader that's supposed to lead, but the actions show you that they lack the confidence to get where you need to go. This year is a big year where people, that all this has to come together, fam. He says you need to play the pipe noise that Willy Wonka played when he wanted the Oompa Loompas to do something that Derek Carr. I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, man. Y'all crazy. Oh, man. All right, Pelicans Nola says Trevor not forever Penning. Yeah, there you go. All right, Jackson's QB is going to be rolling out away from Penning's side out of panic. Okay. Yeah, Brian says, do you think Michael Thomas comes back? Nah, absolutely not, bro. Michael Thomas is not coming back to the Saints. That is a done deal. Tim says, how long before Ali Udo time, Q? At the left guard position? Or are you talking about at the right tackle position? The thing is, the Saints don't really have a solid right tackle option. I mean, they really don't, bro. If you look at the backups, the Saints focus more on interior guys. Like they picked up a couple of interior. Yeah, it's about this. It's raining outside. It's thundering. That's why my lights went out. All right, so look, let me see if I can show this other stuff for y'all. So if something happened, fam, y'all know what time it is, man. It's kind of thundering pretty bad right now. All right, so anyway, hold on. Let me kind of pull up that this Saints depth chart for you guys so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, this they don't have any like I don't want to make it sound like these guys are pathetic, or garbage or whatnot, but I'm just trying to keep it real. I don't want to disrespect our players or disparage anybody, but take a look at this. This is the Saints right here. You got Penning right here at the right side. Behind him is Ali Udo and Josiah Izraheem, who's a very raw offensive lineman. I don't see him making a team. He probably end up on the practice squad. You got Jesse Davis. You got Landon Young, and Landon Young has not looked, good either. Landon Young has not been making any noise, and he's been here forever. This is his last year here. He hasn't stepped up. I thought Landon Young would claim one of those positions, those offensive line positions, and Landon Young hasn't done that. So, like I said, if you look out behind Fuaga, it's Landon Young and Jesse Davis. You look at Trevor, it's Ali Udo, and Ali Udo, to be honest with you, Ali Udo is he's a good interior offensive lineman. You have problems if Ali Udo is your tackle. He's just not fleet of foot enough to be considered a tackle that you want to start full time. So everything is pretty much put on the success of our young guards. Now, whether that's because of the Saints are in a position or a mindset that from a conservative standpoint, they're trying to keep the money down. They're trying to just delegate money to re-signing some of the core players, but they haven't really gone out there. And that's what one of the things I was pitching for is to go out and try to see if you can find us an established tackle, but that costs money. The Saints waited very long. They didn't sign Ali Udoh until well into the free agency period before they decided to sign their very first offensive lineman, a veteran. So a lot of pressure is being put on these young guys, Tyler Fuaga and Trevor Penning. The only way the Saints get through it is they're going to have to run the football. That's what that has to happen. They have to figure a way to run the football. Like I said, I like Ali Udoh as an interior lineman, but as a tackle, man, I don't like Ali Udoh as a tackle. Like I said, he them feet don't move fast enough for me, fam. So I mean, we might be dealing with something, man. So yeah, if it comes down to it, I can very well, and I've said this before, I've said this many times here, is I think that at some point, if the Saints, they don't see the improvement that they want to see, then eventually I can see them going into free agency between the preseason, when the preseason and the regular season start, when everybody cut their players, and then the Saints kind of go in there and see if a guy that they like could be a stopgap option for them. But it's still the fact that the Saints, that Trevor Penning is a first round draft pick. He's a first round draft pick. So this would shine very poorly on the Saints for taking Penning out. If you remember when Penning came from college, I think he was at Northern Iowa is where Penning was where he played collegiately. Y'all remind me. I'm just drawing from my memory, man. I think it was Northern Iowa. I think it was. Let me see if my memory serves me right. Yeah, there you go, Northern Iowa. My memory be kicking in. But yeah, he coming out of there, man, he was actually a pretty decent offensive lineman. But the thing, like I've said before, the issues with Trevor Penning is mental. He lacks the confidence isn't there, because if the confidence was there, you would see him doing the stuff after the play, him mauling out the guys, him being physical, doing that type of stuff. You're not seeing that because the confidence isn't there. So a lot of his stuff is mental. He got mental issues going. I'm not saying he's mentally ill. I'm saying, when I say mental, I mean confidence. That's what I'm talking about. That's up there because he has the tools. He's athletic enough to move. He's doing his thing, but his technique is very flawed and he's rusty as hell out there. Like when the guy was, and I showed y'all the footage of the pass rusher coming in there in the second team and bull rushing him, he's too high. If you look at his feet's not set correctly. Some plays the guy tried to spin move him and he locked into him and kind of guided him. He did well there in a few plays, but a lot of plays when guys came in with the blitz, it was one time the guy caught him and pushed him down. He lost his footing. So John Hendricks reported today that he was on the ground. So yeah, this is concerning. But then again, like I said, and I showed y'all his stats, and I'm like, man, this is a player the Saints drafted 2 years ago, right? And he's only played 6 games in 2 years. So what is he supposed to look like? And then you had Doug Marrone in one, and Doug Marrone was shitty in that year. But Trevor Penning he doesn't look good. He looks bad. Ain't no sugarcoating that shit. He looks bad, man. He got to change it up. He got to switch it up, and then he got to step it up. But like I said, there's still a lot of movements to be made in terms of practices. All these practices, a couple of preseason games left. Can he turn it around? It's not unprecedented, and the Saints are going to see if he can turn it around. And if they feel unconfident, trust me, they're going to free agency and see if they can find somebody, because they'll have people available when people start releasing to get them under the 53-man roster. Jack says, was Trevor Penning popping on every play in tape at college? I don't think so. They tried to something out of it. No, he wasn't. Trevor Penning wasn't a bad player out of college, bro. I ain't gonna say the Saints missed on Trevor Penning. They drafted Trevor Penning, and Penning wasn't a bad player out of college. He was a good player out of college. Go look at his tape. He was physical. He was nasty. You know, he was athletic, and that's what you need to be. You seeing Trevor Penning now with no confidence. This is Trevor Penning with his confidence down, getting beat on plays. That's tough for him. And he's 3 years in looking like a rookie because he is a damn rookie. He only played 6 games in 2 years. And whose fault is that? Portion of it the Saints, a lot of it's on him. So, I mean, they do got some stuff to blame here. But like I said, they have to step it up. And Gundam, this is absolutely right, bro. Trevor Penning lost his heart, letting in tiny defensive ends knock him on his ass. Yeah, that's that big thing, man. He got to pick it up. Can he salvage that, man? Can he salvage? John Benton, the new offensive line coach, thinks he can. So we'll see what they all make of it, man. We'll see what they make of it. All right, we'll see. All right, shout out to you guys, man. Let's kind of move on for Trevor Penning and to Dennis Allen, the coach. But like I said, fam, about Trevor Penning, if you go back and watch the college film on Trevor Penning wasn't a bad offensive lineman. But remember, when you bring these players in here, you got to put them in situations where they'll be successful. That's not what the Saints did. And as a result of that, this is what you're getting. They did not put Trevor Penning in a place to be successful. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, and y'all know that. But that's why I've always said, I'm not just going to lamb-base Penning without laying blame where it belongs on the people like this guy on the screen who put Penning in that type of situation. You got to put the blame on these people too, because they put Penning in a bad role that he couldn't do. And they're like, I told him not to do it. I keep just yelling, don't you put him over there. He's not going to, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. I was saying it before they did it. I was saying that, oh, he'll be fine over there. That's what they were telling me. Oh, we'll be fine. The same people that was telling that's now blasting Trevor Penning was the same people that was telling me that, oh, we'll be fine over there, Q. It'll be all right. That guy will be all right. The same people. Nah. I don't remember. You go back and listen to them show. They ain't that long ago, a couple of years ago. You go back in archives and listen to it. I was saying it put one in the chat, fam. Let these people know, the people that didn't hear it, put one in the chat. I was saying it then that it wouldn't work. I knew it wouldn't work, and I was saying it wasn't going to work. And now that it didn't work, like I said it wasn't going to work, now it's all on Penning. It's not all on Penning, fam. It's all on this dude on the damn screen that would not switch Ramczyk to the side that he was supposed to be on. Ram was supposed to be over there because you're paying him all that money. But they protected Ramczyk, and he can't even play no more. Now you got this young dude out here suffering from confidence issue because of the bullshit the Saints put him through to the first years with 6 goddamn games in 2 years. What you expect from him? I mean, seriously. You're supposed to put players in positions to win, fam. Is all what I'm saying, man. All right, so anyway, let's hear from Dennis Allen as much as we can stand. Here we go.
Anticipate the window.
Yeah. I hear some.
Hold on, fam, just a second.
You got to get them to anticipate the window. They see
Yeah.
moving.
I hear some breathing hard.
Yeah, I was like,
Everything's being evaluated, right? I hear some breathing hard.
I was like,
Everything's being evaluated, right? those of you that jogged it on over, I'll go ahead and start for you guys. Those people that are walking over, I'm just going to go ahead. I thought today was a lot of really good work. Had a bunch of situations, 2-minute red zone, some move the ball stuff. I thought early on, the offense did some good things early on, and then I think the defense kind of responded a little bit as the practice went along. I think the best thing, about all this work is, I think all of our guys are competing extremely hard, and I think has to be a foundational piece for, our football team this year is just that, competitive nature, and so I'm pleased with what I'm getting out of that. Again, we had the officials out here today, and there's a few things that need to be cleaned up, and yet I thought, for the amount of plays that we ran today, I thought it was relatively clean. So he'll be out here again the next couple of days, so we'll have some game-like situations. So
I was going to ask, is it going to kind of be high volume like this all week?
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to look at the play counts a little bit, and we may knock a few off tomorrow, but and we'll probably kind of taper it down a little bit as the week goes on. But today was a grinder for a reason, and I thought our guys pushed through it.
It was sort of a revised script since you didn't have the joint practices. You're like, how can we make these competitive?
Yeah, well, I think it was a lot of what we would have done against the 49ers had they been here, and trying to create as many of those game-like situations as we can. So, again, I thought it was good practice.
And I noticed that the walkthroughs were offense on one field, defense on one field. Was that so that the other didn't know what was being thrown at them, sort of, as a scripted practice?
No, not really. I mean, in terms of the scripted practices, the only thing that either side of the ball knew was what's the down and distance and what's the personnel grouping. That's it. So the on the script, the defense had no idea what the plays were going to be. I'm talking about the coaches, and the offensive coaches, and had no idea what the defensive play call was going to be. And so it was probably as close to game-like as you can possibly get.
Do you normally do that in a camp, or that was in place of having another team here?
No, that was something that,
I'm a friend, but I'm the cleanup man. You'll sweep your girlfriend off the feet. The reason I know so much about him is because he's moved up an old girl of mine. Swept around.
To do, I think, look, there's something to where we script these practices to make sure we're getting kind of the plays that we need to get, the looks that we need to see, and so there's a choreography about all of that. And there's a lot of script review that happens before you come out to practice, right? And so, but that's not how the game's played. And so I thought it was important for us to, just go out here and kind of play football and have to be able to call the game that way also. So, and then there was a couple of periods that were just totally unscripted, nothing, offense will put out a personnel grouping, defense got to figure it out. And the officials were marking the ball where they thought it would come down. So kind of a controlled scrimmage, if you will. So that's kind of how we operated today.
We can see a little bit about like the kicking competition, but maybe not so much about the punters. How do you think that's going through this one?
Yeah, look, I think it's a competitive, situation. Both of these guys, both have strong legs. Both have had really good days. Both have some things that they still need to try to improve on. And I think it's a legitimate, competition there. So we're not ready to make any decisions and let these preseason games play out. But I do think it's a good competition.
As you reference, I think maybe back in the TAs, we needed to kind of see the ability to flip the field a little bit more. Has Lou gotten better in that regard than he was last year?
Yeah, and look, I think when you really look at Lou in the season that he had last year, we kind of put together a chart in terms of all of his kicks, and the thing that comes out is there's a lot of consistency. If you just look at it plotted on a graph, all the dots are kind of in the same area, and so exactly what you're getting, and there's a comfort level to that. And you see some of these other, plots, and there'll be one dot over here, which is a really long kick and flips the field, but there'll be one over here that, is one of these 20-yarders or 25-yarders. So I like that I know from a consistency standpoint pretty much what I'm getting. I do think he's gotten better in terms of some traditional punts instead of the end over end Aussie style. And yet I still think that's an area that he can still work to improve on.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
A couple of weeks of training camp practice and a preseason game. How do you see Fuaga has progressed as you go along?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me with him is I don't think the game's too big for him. I rarely see him make the same mistakes twice. And yet I think he needs to get out there and play football and play in these preseason games and get some reps and, understand, what he can and can't do. And until you get out there in games, you really don't know. And so I think every day is a learning experience for him, much like it is for every other rookie that's out here. But I do see him improving on a daily basis.
We obviously see a ton of positions where you compete and rotate. Safety, we just talked about yesterday. You did it with left guard for a while, linebacker. What was the philosophy behind right tackle has not been an open competition so far?
Well, I would disagree with that in terms of, I think there's part of it with the offensive line trying to create some cohesiveness with a group, and yet there's got to be some competition. And I also think this. I think that I'm looking for. Okay, I want to see one of these other guys step up and tell me that they need to be the guy. And so, this isn't. We don't run a charity organization where we just give things away. I mean, guys have to go out and earn it, and you start somewhere, right? And then, like, I'm looking for, okay, where are the signs, that say, Coach, you need to put me in here. And where we're at today, I still feel like we've got the right 5 guys out there, but we're going to continue to evaluate it at all those spots.
Only you obviously missed a significant amount of time with the injury. Have you seen from him sit from July 22nd through?
Yeah, look, I mean, I would say there's still some inconsistencies. And yet, if you watch play after play after play, you see some good things. But I would say in relationship to that, or in relationship to the left guard position, like I'm waiting to see who just jumps out there and says, "This is my job," and so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, with your background kind of as a defensive coach, when so many teams trying to.
Just like DA said, man, and like I said, it's not hard to tell when you talk about what Dennis Allen is talking about, like consistencies and inconsistencies. They're going to ride this thing out. Like, that was the game plan going into the season. Like, the Saints were going to draft a tackle, take Penning, and move Penning to the other tackle position. People saying she should be a guard Q. I was like, nah, they're not going to do that. They're going to play him at the other tackle. They're going to, draft tackle. That's been the plan. Then, of course, the left guard position was always a question mark because you didn't know who it was going to be. Like, I knew James Hurst wasn't going to be it. I knew that before they put him in the street. I was like, they're installing this new offense. Guys got to be able to move. You need big guys that can move to get the spots. Because if you follow in the John Benton model, and he said this a couple of times, is that offensive linemen need to get to a spot on the field, to block out what they need to do. So he didn't mention get to a player. He said get to a spot on the field and seal it off. Then, of course, that said offensive lineman would get to the spot and then turn around, block whoever you got to block. And then, of course, he was talking about cutting off pursuit angles so guys can't pursue the ball carrier. That's what John Benton was talking about in his interviews that we heard from him, which we need to hear more from John Benton. In my case, we don't hear enough from him. That's the guy you really need to get to, because I've heard from Andrew Janoku. I've heard from Clint Kubiak. Should have been 15-minute interview with Clint Kubiak on stuff. He ain't going to give you very much, to be honest with you. But John Benton will give you an idea of what he wants these guys to do. And then based on what he gives you, then you would then look at the player and say, can that guy give Benton what he's asking for? The Saints do have offensive linemen that can move. I knew James Hurst wasn't going to be that guy because he was too slow. He was the slowest of all those guys. So I knew eventually he'd have been out of here. And he retired on the spot and left. But the Saints are going to operate with this model. They're going to go through the rest of these practices. They're going to go through these 2 preseason games, and then they're going to go into the season. Now, listen, I would have less apprehension about the Saints offensive lineman if they had because if the guy was quality enough, he'll be starting at the tackle position. The Saints don't want to commit a lot of money to that position. That's why they're picking what's the right word? I don't want to say the wrong word here. I don't want to disparage our linemen, but they're picking inexpensive players instead of going and picking up the Fruit Loops. You buying fruit rings. You see what I'm saying? That's what the hell that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to place it like that instead of going to the store. You know how good Fruit Loops are, right? As a child, you ate them. You know, the Fruit Loops. And then what was the other one, man? You had you got Frosted Flakes and you have Frosted Flakes. It's a difference. It is definitely a difference. It's a difference in price. It's a difference in taste. Some of the stuff that costs a little more tastes better. But guess what? The Saints are not buying fruit. They're not buying Fruit Loops. They're buying fruit rings. You see what I'm saying? You know, they ain't buying they ain't buying top shelf liquor. They buying a Heavenly Hill. They ain't buying the top stuff is what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it on that level because I don't want to, you see what I'm saying? But that's what it is. So, I mean, it is what it is right now. So we'll see if they switch up their philosophy, man, to be, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kaboom. There you go, Greg. Yeah, they buying Kaboom and shit. They get you that. Cheerios versus Toasted Oats. Yes, indeed, man. So y'all got all of them, man. Yeah, they instead of getting Pringles, they getting, what's that? Pro Angles. Instead of getting Top Shelf, they buying Heavenly Hill. That's what they're doing. So we'll see if they switch up that philosophy going into before the regular season starts, because we still got to give these young players an opportunity, because there's still a chance they could turn this around. There's a chance they could turn this stuff around. It is a chance. It may, albeit might be slim, there's still a chance for them to turn it around. Y'all get what I'm saying? All right, let's go back to old Possum Puss. Here we go.
Replicate like either this offense or kind of that Shanahan offense. They're going to make when so many teams try and run the same type of scheme. And is that newer since you've been in the league? Like them trying to replicate this offense specifically, or does it kind of come and go in waves?
No, I mean I don't think there's anything new to it. I mean, I think look, this is a copycat league, and so everybody's trying to see what's being successful in our league, and they're trying to mimic those things the best that they can. And so. Now, what's that style or what's that, scheme? I think sometimes that changes. But I don't think there's any question that, we're all watching the tapes. We're all evaluating all 32 teams. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to say if somebody's doing something really good, I'm not above trying to steal it.
Does the scheme lose its effectiveness then when so many teams are trying to replicate it?
I mean, if it's effective, then it's still effective, right? You know what I mean? So, no. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? It's not about the scheme. Everybody talks about the scheme. Like, there's some of that, right? But it's about how you teach it, the detail, how you demand the details, the effort that you play with, the precision with which you play. I'm talking about in all phases, right? Offense, defense, and the kicking game. Everybody wants to talk about what you play. I think a lot more of it's about how you play. And so, look, I think there's some coaching staffs that do an excellent job of teaching, whether it's offense, defense, kicking game, and then they're holding guys accountable for doing their job and doing it right. And so if you have good players, okay, and you teach it with precision and you hold guys accountable, and then the players hold each other accountable, that's where you have success. So, yeah, some of it's scheme, but there's a lot more to it than just the scheme.
When KJ Miller got hurt 3 weeks ago, you expressed some concerns about it being hard to make the team from the training room.
Hadn't gotten easier.
Well, where do you stand with that evaluation now? And do y'all feel like you're going to be able to have a full evaluation by the time?
Same place I was when we started training camp. I've got no other information to go off of. So, I still think it's challenging.
Be more of a comment with that, but like he's been doing side work, but he hasn't like taken that next step to get back to team. We've seen other guys with hamstrings that do the same and then get.
They're all different. They're all different. And so, but guys like DeMario Davis, who I've been with since 2018, right? And he's made a lot of plays for us. All right, I'm gonna be a lot more. Like I got a lot more information to base my evaluation off of than just what I see out here in training camp. Some of these other young guys that I don't have as much information on, it's hard for me to say that guy, and I'm not just talking about him in general or, specifically. I mean, this could apply to a lot of guys. If they're not able to get out here and practice, how can I evaluate it?
Was Kendray's a little bit more severe in the later?
Well, he's not out here yet. You know what I mean? So I don't know about severity. I just know that, you go through a rehab process. And some guys are able to get back out here quicker than others.
Do you have any update on the report?
It's the thing. It's people are mentioning that. I hear that's Mike Triplett and asking the question, but he then pivots toward. It's not just him. I'm talking about everybody. No, it's because you made a comment in the past exclusively about Kendra Miller with the hamstring issue. But then as hamstring issues started to mount up, there's not the same energy for anybody else with hamstring issues. If it's an injury, it's an injury. Now, is he hinting that Kendra Miller is not in the best shape? That's why he got the issue. And we can't evaluate, because if you can't evaluate the player, and like I said, Kendra Miller is what? In the second, what is Kendra Miller? In the second year here with the black and gold? Let me see here. What is Kendra in the second year? Yeah. In the second year. He was a rookie last year. And you mean and what was he, the third round pick? And what, you gonna put him on the street? You ain't gonna do a damn thing. It's a moot point. It's not like he's an undrafted guy. You're not gonna put Kendra Miller on the street in his second year. You got a hamstring issue. You got a hamstring issue. You ain't the only one. He was the first one to get one, but he ain't the only one. It's a bunch of guys right here dealing with injury, a hamstring issue. And it ain't like you're gonna put him on the street. And it could very well be that Kendra Miller might outlast your ass on the team. You hear what I'm saying? So in the end, that's why they kind of pinpointing, I'm talking about anybody. No, you had energy. I don't know what it is about the Kendra Miller thing, but if guys, this is a football team, man, guys are going to get banged up. And I wouldn't dare say Kendra Miller was out of shape and all that kind of stuff. Kendra Miller is not, is not a person that I see as a person that comes here and is a guy that ain't about the business about taking care of himself. He operated Elvin Kamara. Jamal Williams came into the thing is in shape. Kendra Miller, looking at him, he looked like he was in shape. He suffers a hamstring issue. It's a prolonged hamstring issue. Everybody heals differently. But he's a third round draft pick. You're not going to put him in the street. So what's all this about? So it's just what it is, man. Yeah, he might very well outlive Dennis Allen's ass. So you better be careful with that. MS Fist says, Q, they all got injured on the way. It's a lot of injuries going. It's what I'm saying. And the thing is, Dennis Allen is this energy for Kendra Miller that he doesn't have with anybody else. I can't evaluate him. It's like, well, what you going to do then? You're going to do just what coaches do when players are injured. They're just going to put him somewhere based on where he is in his health when he gets close to the season. You're not going to take Kendra Miller and put him on the street. You're not going to do that, are you? What you going to end up doing? We know what you're going to end up doing. But like I said, Kendra Miller is a guy that was brought here to ultimately be the back that maybe is a potential backup or a replacement for Elvin Kamara after the extension is over with. But Kendra Miller, like some young people, have not proven that he can stay healthy enough to guide a team, to be the lead back on the team. Like last year, he was banged up for most of the year. When he was healthy, he was in there. He made some plays pop at the back end of the year. Now he's dealing with an issue, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't be a factor for you in the season. He could very well come true, make it through this issue and be ready for regular season. You see what I'm saying? He could very well do that. We don't know, but Dennis Allen has all the information. He's kind of playing a little coy with it, but he has access to all of the medicals and the timelines. Trust and believe.
He had the other hamstring today. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, fam. Listen, man, that's Dennis Allen right there. Pelican Notice says, Q, can we trade Derek Carr to Minnesota because they're looking for a quarterback? I don't think that is a fake report, bro. And I know you're not saying that that's what's going on, but they have a quarterback. They have Sam Darnold there. That's why they picked up Sam Darnold to be a guy to possibly be the starting quarterback. They then went into the draft and they took J.J. McCarthy to be the guy of the quarterback of the future, but looked like they kind of picked on him. It looked like he looked well enough where they wanted to put him in there. Unfortunately, what happened to him, but they have a capable backup in Sam Darnold, and also they have Nick Mullins. He's a former 49ers quarterback that did okay in the small sample size serving with them. And whatever they have. I'm not, I don't want to help the Minnesota Vikings at all. I really don't like the Minnesota Vikings. People, no disrespect to my Vikings people out there. I really can't stand your team. I don't like the Vikings. They're probably my less favorite team up north. It's a really murky history between the Vikings and the Saints. So whatever they do, man, I tell them to get it from the Falcons. Let the Falcons help them out. Tell them they got. You send them. We'll tweet them and let them know the Falcons might send. What's the guy? The guy that's got the liquor name. Send him over there to Minnesota. Well, they're talking about Skull anyway. So let hit him with the liquor name and then with the Skull. That just works out. All right, what's up? Dev says, Q, how do you feel about Penning and Ruiz being on the same side? Well, right now I ain't feeling too good about it, brother, to be quite honest with you, because we talked about Ruiz. Ruiz really didn't have a good year last year either. But it was other stuff going on to the fact that he just didn't look worse than some of the other stuff we got going on. So we kind of gave him a pass on the slick. But to be honest with you, great deal of last year, none of them guys looked like nothing to me. McCoy was always on the ground. Like I said, Cesar Ruiz didn't look like that. It was times when we watched the tape, he was pulling out the block. People didn't even block anybody. Like, what is he doing? Look confused, but a lot of them look confused. Maybe it was the offensive line coach. That's why they got his ass out of here. Because if you're going to start pulling, you got to at least know who you're going to block. But early on, like 2 or 3 months of the season, that's how the Saints offensive line looked. They looked discombobulated. They'll pull and not block guys. Remember, Andrews Pete was doing the same thing. He'll pull the block guys and don't block a guy, or the guy will get there late. It was just foolishness early on. It got better later, but but it was foolish early on. So, I mean, it's a lot of people looking at this thing and saying to themselves, hey, man, QA, bro, what about this? And I'm going to I'm going to say from that, what's that old song? Y'all know, hold on, let me see. Y'all know I always hitting y'all with them old songs, man. Well, hold on. My ladies, they gonna start singing this one. Hold on. I can't remember the song, man. Oh man. Geez. All right, hold on, yeah. Oh man, I can't remember the song, man. But oh man, but I'm just gonna call for patience, man. That's what I'm gonna call for patience, for our offensive line for right now. Y'all, my ladies know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what song I'm trying to bring up. Y'all help me out, right? I'm gonna call for the song, man. I'm gonna just tell her Who That Nation, man. Be patient, man. Be patient. We still got practices. We still have a few things left going on. So we just need to just kind of be patient on that and see if the young guys could turn this stuff around. That's all I'm saying, man, at the end of the day. All right. So if y'all got any questions, throw them in the chat, fam. I'm going to get ready to kind of bounce if y'all have anything. What the heck? Y'all. I'm reading some of these damn comments, man. Y'all cracking me up. All right, any questions, fam? Please put them in the chat. I'll do my best to action. What's up, B-Lo? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you in the chat. Brian says Carr is going to be a good quarterback this year. If you give him a game and Carr becomes play action Carr, I think you might have something there, bro. You know, I just don't want him to be in a situation where we need. Hold on, I'm trying to remember this song. This gonna make me. I can't remember. It's an old school song, man. What was it? Ladies, y'all help me out, man. What's that old school song, man? It got to be by. Oh man, was it? Damn it. I'm trying to remember the name, man. It ain't popping, man. I used to know all my good stuff. Yeah, but anyway, man. Yeah, JJ had a meniscus tear. I want to say towards meniscus, if I'm not mistaken, fam. I'm not I want to say that's what it happened, that he tore his meniscus. Yeah, Heineke. There you go. Heineke. There you go. So you got Heineke going up to Minnesota. It sounds like a good match in liquor heaven. Pelican says, okay, Big Q. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you. B-Lil says, I was hoping the move inside was short Penning's footwork, but damn, man, the boy is leaky as an old faucet. Bro, 6 games. That's what I was saying, man. Yeah, people say Q. Yeah, Penning is playing like trash right now. Y'all are 1,000% right. Y'all are 1,000% right on that. He is playing like trash. What can I tell y'all? He is playing like trash. But in 2 years, he started 6 games, and he's a first-round draft pick for the Saints. They really hadn't done too much to make the man, be worth anything, man. You got to be able to play, man. I'm still trying to find out what the name of this song is, man. I can't. It's an old school R&B song, man. Yeah, and I can't believe y'all, my ladies, my queens ain't gonna help me out with this song. Y'all know what song I'm talking about. Come on, where you at, Barbara? Barbara, I know you know. Pammy, where you at, baby? Pammy, where it at? Come on now, y'all. My ladies, help me out with this song. Y'all remember the old school song back in the day? Be patient. Be patient. Y'all remember that song? Come on now. I gave y'all a bar. That's the best I can do. Y'all, if y'all can't get that one, man, y'all better. We all in trouble. All right. Robert says Q Taysom Hill through. He says Q Taysom Hill through pass. Okay, he threw a pass. Well, I mean, he as long as he threw one, yeah, one. Don't have him doing more than one. I like Taysom, but there's better ways you can utilize Taysom as a runner. But he's not a quarterback. He's just not accurate enough, man. He's not. He don't do it enough. L Dub says, "Yep, the Vikings got a ton of bad luck recently." Yeah, Addison was carted off the field today. Hawkins has also got an injury. They had a young defensive back that passed away, and all kind of stuff. Craziness happening, man. Insanity. You must just say, do you think a change in the scouting department is the right move to make a change for 2025? Well, bro, we're not striking gold like we used to. That's to be honest. Maybe a change is some kind of way needs to be made, man. The draft or the scouting department could be right on some stuff, and then we just choosing wrong. It could be the head coach who's making these calls. So then of course you got to put it at the top with Mickey Loomis, because remember Mickey Loomis is the one that's responsible for why the Saints cap is all screwed up over the next couple of years. So yeah, change might be necessary, bro. English says Q, the Duke of the Who Dat Nation. He says they can act like they sandbagging with the offense, but you got to rep a new offense. This ain't setting up good. Now, absolutely, bro. You make a great point. Thank you, English. Brian said, if I said something like trade Derek Carr to Minnesota, Jerry would put me. OG ain't gonna do you like that. OG is a patient dude, man. All right, Argentina Dogo says he needs to clean up, man. Plaque behind. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you go. He need the plaque, the cleanup man plaque behind him. Yeah, that's the old 10 Commandments plaque. See a lot. Yeah. Come on, my folk know what we talking about here. Y'all probably got that same plaque in y'all house. Y'all go to your grandma's house, your aunts, the older aunts. They got that same cleanup man plaque. That's the 10 Commandments plaque. It's so inappropriate to have it in the cleanup man video, rap video, when you cutting up like that. But I understand he just did it in the house.
Pretend that I'm her girlfriend. She might call me Santa friend, but I'm the cleanup man.
Cleanup man, he'll sweep the girlfriend off the feet. The reason I know so much about him is because he's moved up an old girl of mine.
Oh man, listen, there's so much. The shirt, the plaque, the plant in the background, the fact that the plant, the blinds is open, like the curtain is open, the curtain stuck open on the plant. It's a lot going on in this picture, man. And this dude got a nose ring too. Is that a nose ring or a really bright booger? Either one of the two. I don't know. It's a very blurry picture. All right, so Belo says, I can agree they haven't put Pennant into the position to see. They left him on the island out there to tackle with hips as tight as guitar strings. Not very loose at all, man. T. Will says, Pennant going to be a problem when the first half of our season have defense, nice DEs and edge rushers. Thank you, T. Will. Yeah, it's bro, we going to see what's happening, bro. It's a lot of time between now and then. He got to step it up, man. Or either they got to give him some help on that side. If they're going to roll with Pennant, they can't justify him playing that bad. His technique really needs some work. His technique really needs work. He's just playing. His technique is bad. That's what it is, man. It's consistently bad because he's getting beat a lot. He's getting pushed down. That's bad technique. And that's John Benton's got to get that corrected. He got to fix that. L-Dub says, didn't Sean Payton pilfer somebody from our scouting department? I want to say he did, bro, but that's what they usually do beforehand. Tim says, trade Carr to the Vikings for a bag of open chips and a sandwich with a bite out of it. Damn. Robert says, not saying for a QB, just don't sleep on the scheme. Thank you, Robert. Pelicans knows says, do you think the NFL will go take? Oh yeah, eventually, if not this season, eventually sometime they will. And eventually they'll go from 18 to 20. That's what it's going to be. 18, 19, eventually 20. And then they'll expand the 53-man roster. What they want, they get because the players are greedy and they give up. Like when they go with these agreements, the CBA agreements, the players, the agents, all of them greedy. So they'll sell out whatever little bargaining power they have for money. The ownership knows this. The players have a cap on them. The agent's trying to take a portion of the money the players make. And the NFL there's no cap on owners. So it's a big advantage in terms of money and influence because the owners are 100% together. The players, it is what it is. But it's even though they get a few more coins or whatnot, but in the end, look how rich the owners are getting. Eventually, they'll get their 20. Man, see, they'll get that 20 game schedule that they've been looking. They're incrementalists, man. They'll get it. And like I said, man, you got to remember too, and super rich people, man. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all heard this from one. They had a billionaire that says he goes to sleep every night scared that wealthy people are going to overthrow the rich people. Put one in the chat if y'all heard that, man. If y'all heard that recently. Put one in the chat if y'all heard that recently, because that's just really true. There are people like that that's terrified of the people because they don't really, like, man, these people really don't know what we doing to them. Boy, but when they learn, it's going to be hell to pay. That's how they do it. I mean, but it's like I talked to y'all about curses, man. So it's a real curse out there. It's a curse going on there. A lot of these people are cursed for what they're doing, how they did to get where they are. But a lot of this stuff, like with the owners and all that, they wouldn't allow a union unless there's some kind of control they have over the union. Come on. And well, at first they were setting up union busters to run the union off, and all of a sudden some of these other big companies made nice with the union. Why? Because a lot of time they have influence over the union. The people that run the union are usually in confab with the opposite team, and they work together. A lot of times that I remember, like in some of these unions, it's a bad word to strike. You hear the And the railroad unions is going on in Canada right now. They threatening striking. U.S. unions, they said President Reagan made it difficult or made it impossible for people to strike. If you can't strike and deny labor, you don't have a weapon. That's all you have is the ability to stop them from making money. And if you don't do that, then you don't have any power. It's a dirty word in some of these unions for you to withdraw or withhold your labor. You see, they get everything they want. But like I said, I've been a part of union labors before and I've seen how they work. They'll do everything they can for you not to use the strike word. They don't want strike. Oh, no, you can't do that. Because the dude usually telling you that is an agent for the people. He was there to stop all that from had to kind of stop you from utilizing your power. I'm telling you, that's how it worked, man. These people tried to control everything, fam. That's how it's a rigged game. They can't compete if the stages are set for fair. They can't compete with that. They can't compete on a fair stage, man. They can't. So they rigged the game. That's how it worked. But if you become aware of it, we could change it all. That's as simple as that, fam. That's my message. All right, Cap Manny says, play the cleanup. Okay, I just played it. You better below. He knows what a damn a metaphor is, man. Hold on, fam. That right there kind of crazy, man, to me, man. But it is what it is, fam. We know Dennis Allen ain't working with a full debt, dog. We knew that, man. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know DA and he ain't working with he a couple of beers short of a 6-pack. Y'all know that. Come on. Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the metaphors to you guys. Thanks. All right, but what is a metaphor?
What's that?
What is a metaphor? Like, what's the official definition of metaphor?
A metaphor is like using something as comparison as like an example, right?
Okay. All right. I got it. Yeah, I'm.
She. Oh man, yes indeed, man. Boy, keep it coming. The dig give you all the content in the world, fam. All right, man. Big ups to you guys, man. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Tim says, but seriously, what offer would you consider for Carr from the Vikings? You have two decent QBs looking as good as Carr. I don't think the Saints, me personally, is different, but the Saints, listen, bro. And I'm going to say this because it's not how you approach the game. To you, it makes sense. But you got to understand, and I often say this, we have Slick Mickey operating and Dennis Allen. They're not going to do these type of moves because you are committed to Derek Carr. You are committed to Derek Carr. Committed. That means whatever happens to the Saints and Dennis Allen happens to Carr, Dennis Allen, Mickey Loomis together. They committed to Derek Carr. They gave him $150 million. He is their quarterback, regardless of whatever Spencer or Jake Hayner do. The man with the keys to the bus, so to speak, is Derek Carr. Pun and everything included. It's Derek Carr. That might not sound good to some of my Who Dat family members, my kings and queens in the Who Dat Nation. But the reality is that is the reality. There is nothing. There is no quarterback controversy to Dennis Allen. Derek Carr is my quarterback. Why? Because I drafted him. I brung him here. I paid him $150 million. Derek Carr is my quarterback. They live and die with Derek Carr. So there is no offers the Saints are going to take for Derek Carr, because to do that, the trade Derek Carr would mean that the Saints made a bad bet, that they made an awful move, and they're not going to give that to you. They're not going to hand you like them old Three Stooges movies when they had the old dynamite, a 6-pack of dynamite sticks wrapped together. They're not going to say, here goes some dynamite, now blow us to hell. They're not going to do that. They're not going to hand you that. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? Put one in the chat if y'all understand what I'm talking about here. Y'all understand what I'm saying about these people? They're not going to get rid of Derek Carr unless something terrible happens. Dennis Allen is tied to the hip with Derek Carr. Mickey Loomis is tied to the hip with Derek Carr. They gave him $150 million. They told you that this is the guy. And this guy right here, Dennis Allen, is going to ride or die with Derek Carr. It don't matter what Spencer doing. To these people, I'm just telling you the truth, man. Now listen, you could put pressure on the Saints, and I've been saying this for years. That's how you get them to speed up the process, because you have control over the team by its purse strings. What do the Saints need from you? They need money from you. If you didn't give them the money, they could not exist in this fashion, because she's not using her money totally. When they had to pay that bill to the city, they had $20 million. That's nothing to the Saints. Gail's worth, what, $6 billion? She's the owner of the Pelicans and the Saints. If you put them together, collectively, they were what, well over $12 billion value-wise between the Pelicans and the Saints. If you put them together, plus various other holdings, the car dealerships. And we ain't talking about some old Hyundai and all that shit. We talking about luxury holdings, luxury cars, BMW, all this kind of stuff. Real estate holdings, the fact that the state gave them the Benson Tower. They get all this money out of the dome, the parking revenue, all of the concession money, the taxpayers and all the state payers pay for the utilities for the dome. They don't pay any rent on the dome, all the arena that the teams play out of. And when monies come due for renovations, the majority of the money comes from state or local and even federal money that eventually you got to pay back. You see? So in the end, what I'm hitting at is the reality of the situation is, if you want to gum up the works, then become smart, become more intelligent about how you dole out resources to these people. Hold your stuff back. This ain't nothing new. I've been talking like this for a long time, man, because I understand economics. I know how it works. It's a constant propaganda campaign to make you believe that you're down here at the base of some pyramid and they're at the top of the food chain. And they're only up there because you put them up there, financially speaking and mentally speaking. Oh, she got all this. Of course she has all that. You gave it to her. You didn't support her stuff. Of course they got it. And it would happen to you too. If people turn to you and say, okay, we're going to support you and and invested a great deal into you, then you'll go up there like that too. It's the people. So, I mean, if you want to change it, you won't put pressure on them. Start slowing your ticket sales down, your merch sales down. Start thinking. You'll change it all, man. Damn near overnight. This whole situation with Dennis Allen making it this year when he was supposed to be fired last year, all this would be you'd be looking at a new coach right now, as opposed to old possum puss on the screen who don't even know what a metaphor is. So, I mean, in the end, man, this is truth talk. I'm telling y'all, man, that's how you impact your shit. That's how you impact it. I've been saying that for a long time, fam. I've been saying the same shit forever, man. They got to do something, but they're going to sit here and they're going to play it out. They're going to play it out with Penning. They're going to play it out with Tolly. They're going to play it out with whoever the left guard is. I don't know who the hell the left guard is. Lucas Patrick, Nick Saldiveri ain't been in there since he had the calf issue. And then even if he gets in there, there'll be questions with Nick Saldiveri because he wasn't here last year. He was hurt last year too. We don't know what he can do. You don't know what Patrick could do. You don't know what Shane Lemieux could do because these guys are inconsistent. If they were consistent offensive linemen, they probably wouldn't have gotten away from where they were at. But Shane Lemieux's a guy that's actually pretty decent, but he can't stay healthy. Landon Young is a guy in the last year of his contract who can't seem to step in there and do what he needs to do. Now, offense change, guys kind of move around, and it's the fact that they have to learn a brand new scheme and the one that they didn't have for 20 years. Huge gamble. Stakes are high, though. Order for this experiment to work, the Saints must, and I mean must, they're going to have to figure out an answer and run the ball. It is what it is, fam. Thank you, Tim. Rose says, Q, I think the song is Better Days. Is it Better Days? Is it Better Days? See, look, and shout out to you, Ro, man. You got it. And see, I thought my Queens was going to get that. I thought that Pammy, where you at? How you didn't get that? How you didn't get that? Now, you should have been, Pammy and Barbara, they should have been the first ones to tell me that one. Come on now. Where my Queens at, man? Y'all supposed to know that one. How y'all missed that one, you ladies? I don't know. Thank you. Appreciate you, Ro, man. How old are you, Ro? For you to know that, bro. How- yeah, yeah. Ro, how old are you, brother? For you to know that shit. How old are you, bro? You can't be a young brother that knew that, man. All right. No Cap. What's up, bro? How you doing? No Cap. He says, gotta collab with you soon. Q. Yeah, hit me up, bro. Hit me up, my brother. He says, but your rumor. He says, but your rumor is Sean wasn't hurt as believe everything still hasn't been sorted out with him and his regime. Okay, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Much love to you, my brother. All right. He says, ATL did everything I wanted. He says, I wanted us to do. They fired the head coach, drafted the QB of the future. While being competitive now, and fans were still mad because they didn't draft Turner on D, yet still got a pass rusher. Indeed, bro. See, that's the game. The game is to never stop improving. Now, is that deep? Not at all. But when you have an outdated general manager who doesn't do evaluations in the off season, in the on season, when they really matter. And like I said, Howie Roseman, even Terry Fontenot, guys like that, they are always looking at the team. They're always engaging. Y'all need anything? Well, listen, we a little busted up with this, that, and the third. We need this. They went and traded for Judon, and then they brought Simmons in. When injuries started impacting the secondary, they brought Simmons in, and there is no word on what's going on with Simmons. If I think I see, shout out to my dog Low. Low's in the chat. Low, give me an update, bro, if you're still listening, bro, on Simmons. What you got on Simmons? Because there's no word. I checked, obviously, Falcon Media. There's no listing of what's going on with Simmons, and I'm pretty sure we should hear something tomorrow. To be honest with you, we'll see. All right, yeah, thank you. No Cap, man. All right, yeah, man. How old are you, Ro? Oh yeah, okay, Barbara. See, Barbara said I ain't on my game tonight, Q. But Barbara, you know Diane Reeves though, right? Come on, Pammy, where you at, baby? Where all my ladies at, man? What am I? Kathleen, what happened? What happened, Kathleen? How you ain't answer that one? You supposed to answer that one. Y'all, I asked my ladies, I say, hey, what's that song, such and such? And Rose said, man, Q, I think it's Better Days by Diane Reeves. And I said, you know what? You're right, brother. And how old is Rose for him to pick up that one, brother? That was like, that was interesting, right? Shit. All right. Cap says Judon 12 and a half sacks and 15 and a half sacks, got injured for the whole season right before playing the Saints last season. He's still a good rusher. Everything's depending on how he bounced back from injury. Age don't matter. You know what's crazy about it though? He'll work with what they got, man, because I think the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to be using like a 3-4 scheme, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, Barbara. She said, I ain't on my game tonight. Okay, there you go. Row 45. All right, brother. All right. Kathleen just bust the LOL. She couldn't help me. She couldn't help me tonight. But yeah, this is the one right here. I was trying to get the family members, man, on, because this is this the best I got for y'all, man. You know? And my ladies, they know they heard this song before, because this is one of the favorite old school throwbacks. But when people ask me, Q, what should we do about Trevor Penning and the Saints offensive line? This song comes to a soulful guy, man. I got all kind of records and old school stuff, all that. I got all this stuff. Now, this is what I got for y'all. I had to speed it up, but this is what I'm going to tell you. Be patient. Be patient. Tasha said, oh, I hear this song in forever. Yes. That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all got to be patient, fam. Y'all got to be patient. All right. My boy No Cap says, I hear our new offensive line coach resume isn't good, but either way, Penning's the offensive line coach is actually a pretty decent offensive line. John Benton's actually pretty solid. Who said it isn't any good? He says, either way, Penning's confidence is the big issue. It is. He says he can only fix that, meaning Penning. I agree with you, bro. He says no matter what good technique he learns, his low confidence will throw it out the window. That's why you got to cater plays that build up his confidence if he's the guy you're going to go with. If not, then the Saints made a bad move with Trevor Penning. It don't matter whatever position you play him with, even if you kick him in the guard and it's not going to work. Period. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody got to play the tackle position. He's a first round pick. The Saints have to justify the pick, because that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a reputation thing. That's what I'm saying when I told you about Derek Carr, a pin to Dennis Allen, pin to Mickey Loomis, and then you have this whole situation dealing with pinning. All that is a fix to old possum puss here. And the reality, if the Saints want to get anywhere with these young linemen, they got to graft the scheme that benefits them, which is has to be a running scheme. And then eventually they have to be able to play action off the run. That's the answer. Or they're going to have to go into free agency after the preseason is over with and see if they can find a guy that might be available and pay him the money. The Saints don't want to commit long-term money to no offensive lineman, right? They don't really want to do it if, they don't want to do it, because if they wanted to, they would have done it already, right? How do you bring in Justin Simmons, right? Which is let's be honest, Justin Simmons is a luxury. He's a luxury player for the Saints anyway. It's different for the Falcons. It's different for the Falcons because the Falcons guy is hurt. The Saints can get along and still have a top 5 secondary without Justin Simmons. He's a luxury player for the Saints. There is a more impressive or important spot the Saints really need to go in with their money. Atlanta's like just over 3.3 million, I think, on the cap. So they have to work their gymnastics to be able to get to a position where they can be able to afford Justin Simmons. Unless they do a Mickey Loomis, which Terry Fontenot is trained by, and give him a multi-year deal with the first year being like a mil 0.4. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of these picks are tied to ego with the Saints because they don't want to give you anything. When I say not give you anything, they won't give you any ammunition to shoot at them with. The whole image is built up like Mickey Loomis knows what he's doing. Dennis Allen is going to be a Sean Payton style coach. This is not coming from me. This is what they're telling you. Just listen to what I'm saying. Mickey Loomis is building Dennis Allen up like he's the next Sean Payton. He said, well, Payton, he started off such and such. And this guy started off, he was saying that to let you know that he's seen this happen and he had Payton to go through similar years. And the same thing is Dennis Allen, because Dennis Allen is a good coach. He even said at times he's a great coach, a defensive coordinator, not a head coach. But it's a lot of ego tied here because Mickey Loomis, there's no more person that's more emotional in the Saints organization than Mickey Loomis. He's not going to give you bullets to shoot at him. He ain't going to trade Derek Carr, until they're not going to get rid of Carr until they can't get rid of Carr. You get what I'm saying? All of this is built on the movements because they trying to uphold their rep. And they ain't gonna have, get rid of Dennis Allen to make you right. Even though everybody can look at Dennis Allen and see that he's not head coach material. Everybody can see that. It's a whole facade is what I'm saying. It's a facade. It's a whole facade. Dennis Allen's not a very good coach. He's a head coach. He's a good coordinator, but coordinator is not a head coach. It's just what it is. He brings the guy in. The Saints are not working with a lot of money. Then early on in the year, I was like, why don't the Saints go see if they get one of these free agent offensive linemen? They let all of them go off the list. And then waited later on and then went and got Ali Udo. I was like, Ali Hudo? And then you get here, you look at Ali Udo, solid guard, not much on tackle. Played tackle, but his feet is not fast enough to move to play those edge tackles. Saints penciled themselves in with 2 first-round draft picks. These ain't undrafted guys. We can say he's just undrafted. It don't matter. We'll move him out the way. They kind of stuck with this shit right now. That's what I'm pretty much saying. Unless injury happens and they have to pivot to something else, but they have to justify the first-round draft picks. And if Penn struggles, I could very well see Dennis Allen putting somebody over there to help block on that side. I can see that happening. But if they really want to help the guys and they're sticking with their philosophy, they're going to have to run the ball, and everything's based on them running the ball. So you got inexperienced offensive linemen there at the right and left tackle positions and the guard position. And listen, to be honest with y'all, fam, I'm not really cool on Ruiz either. We're not talking about that because we looking at the left guard saying, man, who's going to be the guy? See, we focused on other positions. But I'm not cool on Ruiz either, the way he played last year. He had one solid year to earn that money. And then after that, last year, he really didn't look like anything to me. To be honest with you, the most solid offensive lineman last year, to me, was Andrews Pete. What y'all think? Y'all will let me know. But yeah, bro, you're not saying anything wrong, no cap, bro. You on point, brother. You on point, bro. Just like Davenport. Yeah. Indeed, bro. That's what I'm saying. But that gets passed on. See, they don't talk about Davenport. You know, they don't talk about Davenport. You have Peyton Turner. Peyton Turner's going to be a Davenport too. So notice the first round draft picks. The Saints are coming out. Davenport was a bust. Peyton Turner is not going to be a Saint after this year unless he take a super cheap deal, which he probably not. He's going to be up out of here because you got Chase Young there. The Saints basically put Chase Young, signed Chase Young to start opposite of Granderson, and then block down on the 5th year for Peyton Turner, which was the right thing to do because you're not going to pay him $13 million. That's just stupid, especially when you're suffering with cap issues. But that means that this is a prove-it deal to see if he can earn his way there. How is he supposed to do that with Chase Young now? Chase Young got a 1-year prove-it deal. And if Chase Young balls out, they can very well try to re-sign Chase Young. You see? So it's already it's Peyton Turner's this is last year. It's already written on stone as far as Peyton Turner goes. You know, if Chase Young could ultimately get hurt and Peyton Turner could step up and do it. And do they then sign him like it's opposite of what Trey Hendrickson happened? What happened with him? It's a bunch of stuff, man. It's a bunch of stuff, fam. So like I said, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. But in the end, man, we going to watch it and see what we can do, man, just to be honest with you. Quavadia says all the scouts are saying pending pad level is too high. It is too high. Remember, we did the breakdowns like, man, he playing too high, man. He's too high. That's why he's getting bent backwards, man. You know, it's no leverage there. There's no leverage. He's playing too high. That's what I was saying when we did the little film work we did the other day on the last stream. I was like, fam, he's too high. That's when you're off my young offensive lineman out there that's listening to the show, go watch some of that tape of Penning and learn what not to do, because you can still learn from it. There was a few plays where he actually did better on, but he's playing too high. He's a 6'7" offensive lineman. Got to bend knees, bro. I mean, he had no leverage. Like the guy just puts his hand on him and just pushes him and he bends back. To playing too high. Where's his leverage? Where's his strength supposed to come from? You know, so it's just bad technique. The good news is bad technique can be fixed. But when you talk about confidence, that's a whole nother thing, you know. Yeah, he says he's pad level is too high and he getting his hands on the pass rusher first. He letting the man just bull rush him. He is playing too high. He's playing way too high. I mean, where's the leverage? And it's they got to get it together, bro. All right, Belo said the possum gonna strike again at 10 men and 10 men and 5 dogs trying to hunt down and drag him out of the dome. But yes, a slippery bastard, the possum. Yes, indeed. All right, Cap, what's up, Cap? Says Big Dog, I got a silly question. I should know the answer, but what the heck is compensatory picks? I never understood that. Compensatory picks, in my understanding, compensatory picks model for the Saints, for the NFL is based on the formula is based on players that you lose in free agency, and they supposed to is some type of computation they use to reward you selections based on free agents that you lose. It's some kind of method that they use. Like if you lost, like we lose guys and we don't sign a replacement, then what happens is they align you and give you a certain amount of picks to compensate for players that's lost in free agency. That's how my understanding this compensatory model is set up. But they got a formula online. If you go and pull it up, it's on the NFL website. They have a definition that explains to you how it goes and how they basically break it down. So yeah, there you go, bro. Hope that helps. Cartel says, "Why I feel like somebody somewhere lighting insects, sipping Jack Daniels with the lights dim." Oh, you talking about with the be patient? Bro, that's the joint, man. Be patient. What's up, T Dirty? What's up, my brother? How you doing? All right. Oh, there you go. Confunction, LTD. Oh, yeah. All of them, bro. Lakeside. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All that, bro. All that, brother. That's that good stuff, right? That's what a lot of them samples be coming from to a lot of the hip hop music be coming out of soul music and R&B stuff like that. No cap says someone said we thought Penning had a mean streak because he's tough, but it's not the case. It's not a mean streak. It's frustration from getting beat. He said he hit guys after the whistle and the draft. Now Penning, it does have a mean streak. I mean, but it only shows when he's confident. Like any other way, it doesn't matter, right? If he's being mean when he stink, well, he doesn't be mean when he stink because you can see that he's, his confidence is low. But you won't see it's so much, man, with this guy. I don't know, man. I don't know him. I don't know Penning well enough as a player to know because players go through this stuff all the time, man. It's like you're a first round draft pick. It comes with a certain amount of stress on you to improve or whatnot. His technique is bad. It really is, bro. It's very bad. The tape don't lie. His technique is very flawed, and in order for him to get that confidence, he got to fix all that. He doesn't have to be 100%, but he has to do a great deal between now and the last preseason. I mean, before the preseason end, or to be able to make a case to keep that job, because that's not going to be good. And then the crazy part about it is everybody's focused on him now, and that makes it even more difficult now because the questions is about Penning and Penning this and Penning this. It's not about Tali Fuaga. The questions and all of that in terms of the offense it was Carr focused. It used to be Derek Carr focalized. It's not that anymore. It's now Penning. Y'all notice that? So a lot of the spotlight has moved to Trevor Penning. It is locked in on Trevor Penning, and that's a whole nother thing to deal with while you're stinking and everybody see you're stinking and your confidence is low. And then you hear the news reports, you hear what people are saying about you, and you try to cut it off. How do you react to that? What do you do? Are you that player? Are you that dude to be able to lock in and get it done? If I was Trevor Penning, man, I would be working every day and night. I'll be the first person in practice, the last person to leave. I'll be putting in extra practice. I'll be doing everything that I can to catch up, man, as much as I can. And Dennis Allen and some other people were saying that he was working in the off season to kind of get his stuff together. And now you got this new offense here he has to learn. And he says that the offense that they're teaching him is better for his skill set. He said that during the last presser he had. He said, yeah, this is better suited for my skill set, such and such. But there's no excuse for the bad technique that he's experienced, because even though he's played 6 games in the NFL and he's basically a rookie, he should still have the skill set needed to justify being a first round pick. The skill set that he's exhibiting currently makes it look like he's a second day pick or even a third day pick in many respects. So yeah, he has to they're going to have to figure that out, man. Not just Penning, but that whole damn setup. They're going to have to figure that out and figure it out soon. All right. What's up? CB says, hey man, about Ruiz, he's under the radar because Penning's stealing all the negative. Exactly. But bro, listen, the offensive line in 3 months last year during the regular season, they were awful. They didn't play with any, not consistently toward the back of the season. They weren't opening up holes for those guys to run in. I remember Alvin Kamara would hit those holes and then he would pick up 2 yards, 2 hard fought yards. They'd do the same thing with Jamal Williams. Elvin would then go in there, pick up 2 rough yards, and then drop the ball on the ground and just walk to the huddle. The McCoy and all these lackluster offensive linemen then walk back, and they had no attitude whatsoever. You can't run the football like that. You can't. It's an attitude you have to have if you're going to be a offensive lineman. You got to have an attitude, and that's the attitude of domination. You got to mush these guys out of the way. You got to play with attitude. And McCoy, the only time I seen him really get at it is when he was trying to get at Derek Carr, his own quarterback. That's the only time I seen him get animated. He wasn't getting upset and frustrated when the Saints was stanking up the goddamn run, when they wasn't running the football. Well, he was ready to get at old Carr. I tell you that much. That's the only time I seen him get animated. The majority of the time I seen him on the ground. I make jokes about it all last year. I was calling him McCoy the landscaper. He was always in the grass and shit, always laying down like he cutting shit up. I was like, man, this guy always on the ground. What's up? He got to be hurt or something like that. So, I mean, to me, like a lot of the young guys are taking the focus. The focus is now on Penning. Tolly's a rookie. He got to learn. The left guard is still a question mark. Ruiz is not out of the woods either. Ruiz needs to get better. He really gets better. And remember, this situation we talked about a long time ago was the fact that when Sean Payton drafted Cesar Ruiz, he had every intention to make Cesar Ruiz the starting center. And what killed the process was Sean Payton switched it up during training camp. We covered this. Remember, because he was trying to move McCoy off center to guard. That's why Ruiz is here. He wanted Ruiz to be the center. And when they all got into camp, he said, hold on, I want to look at McCoy at center again. So he let McCoy get a certain amount of reps. Then he switched it like a week later, I think it was, to Ruiz. And Ruiz started getting reps at center. And then Ruiz got hurt and he scrapped the whole experiment and forced Ruiz to be a guard from that point forward. And Ruiz, since he's been a Saint, really had one really solid year, and that's the year before he got paid. Amen. One in the chat. Has Ruiz done enough to justify the first round draft pick? See, we got issues all over the place. We're just looking at other things right now. Ruiz had one solid year as an offensive lineman for the Saints, and that was the year before he got paid. Amen. See, so the Saints got some issues, man. You got some issues. Oh yeah, I'm keeping it real, man. Them dudes know they can't. If they that sensitive, they don't need to be on the football field, man. Because everything that I'm telling them, you can go look up the goddamn tape. You can go look at the tape. Everything I'm telling them is on tape. The all 22 don't lie. It's the eye in the sky show everything. Remember, I was showing y'all about McCoy last year in the Patreon special. So I was like, look at McCoy on the ground again. I was like, he got to be hurt. The dude always on the ground. Keeping it real, man. All right, Penning, and CB says Penning looks so bad. I kind of feel for yeah. He's trying to reel off, but it's just and that's a part of it, man. Look at all the ones, man. Yeah, Cartel said no, he hasn't. See, I'm just keeping it, man. See, we not focus on that though. We letting them have because they're looking at Penning. Penning is looking so bad that he's drawing a lot of the negative attention away from the rest of the guys. And the truth of the matter is, all Saints linemen have to improve. We got McCoy here as the center, but McCoy's he's a nice guy. He doesn't play with the attitude. We need a mean disposition offensive line wise. We don't need all this milquetoast lineman mentality because we have to be able to run the ball. If we're going to be a heavy run team, all of this is based on the Saints line. And every last one of McCoy, I didn't like the season McCoy had last year. The season. Not no 3 or 4 games or 5 goddamn games. 4 or 5 games is not the season. From a whole, and I do all the play-by-plays, the breakdowns. As a whole, from what I see from McCoy last year, I was not happy with McCoy's play last year. Not on the totality of the entire season. No, neither was I happy with Cesar Ruiz. And I told y'all, the best offensive lineman I think the Saints had last year, and this ain't saying much, was goddamn Andrews Pete. Andrews Pete played better than all of them, in my estimation. So, I mean, like I said, man, all of them guys need to work. They all need to step this up because if we count on that offensive line to carry the day, gonna have an issue. Like I said, Cesar Ruiz. I remember I had a nickname for Cesar Ruiz. It was called Caesar Salad Ruiz. Come on, put one in the chat if y'all remember that. I was calling him Caesar Salad Ruiz, fam. He had one good year because the pressure was on him too. Y'all remember this stuff? Am I the only one? Y'all remember it too? Remember we sat up here and talked about all this? He was nicknamed Caesar Salad Ruiz. That's what I was calling him. He had one good year, and that's when he got paid. The rest of them years, man, he was looking. Remember he Kentavia Street beat him to hurt Drew that year. You remember that? Remember that? We was saying, I told Sean Payton that too, that yes, don't draft that guy. You don't put, because he tried to blame your boy, the guard, man. I can't remember his name. Y'all remember the guard we had the year before. They tried to put all the blame on him. Why the Saints look bad in that Minnesota Vikings game. Y'all put his name in the chat. I can't remember. I could see his face, but I can't remember his name. Was it Wally something or other? Y'all remember? Y'all put it in the chat, man. They was trying to put all of the blame on him. He had 1 year left on his contract, and Peyton made it a point to get him out of here. Like he was the only one. That whole goddamn offensive line stunk in that playoff game. And then the next year they came back and he drafted Cesar Ruiz and was supposed to move Cesar to center and make McCoy a guard. He scrapped the experiment, and we've been stuck with this ever since. And Cesar had one good year the year he got paid, because there was questions on whether or not he would get the money. And he played well. No, it wasn't Unger, L-Dub. It was your boy Williams. What was his name? Am I saying it right? What's up, Jamaica? Yeah, y'all remember? Y'all remember I was calling him Cesar Salad Ruiz, because he wasn't nothing. He wasn't doing nothing. He was a first-round draft pick. He was dealing with the same similar issues as, bro, this shit's repeating itself, man. This stuff is repeating itself, bro. We've been here before. This stuff is repeating itself. People be forgetting this stuff happening to these players. I said the same shit that happened with Alontae Taylor last year. I said, man, hold on. The same shit happened to Paulson Adebo the year before that. They were saying, oh, we got to get rid of Paulson Adebo. He ain't hitting on nothing. He can't cost it, bro. He in his sophomore year. They struggle in their sophomore year. Same thing, man. The same as Cesar Ruiz was going through the same shit. People was like, I don't think he getting it. He would get beat badly. He was getting thrown on the ground. Y'all tell me y'all don't remember none of that, man. We done washed all that out of our minds that quick. There you go, Larry Warford. There you go, Dr. Key with the key. Larry Warford. That's his name. Y'all remember Larry Warford? Come on, man. Come on. That's the great Saint Think Tank. That's how we figured all this stuff out. We put this shit all together. We don't forget nothing. I don't forget what these players have done, man. I don't forget none of this, man, because it's valid. All this stuff come back because these circumstances keep repeating themselves with different players. Cesar Ruiz went to a similar transition as Trevor Penning. He was a first-round draft pick, but the difference was he was played out of position. He was too small to be a guard. He had to learn how to be a guard and all this kind of stuff. He was struggling. People was pushing him around. He was getting beat. Come on. Y'all remember this stuff? This shit's happening to see when you know history and remember stuff that happened. Larry Warford was the guy they put Peyton tried to blame for all that shit that happened in that loss to Minnesota when they couldn't run the ball. The only player that was hitting on anything was Taysom Hill. And when he got going, Peyton went away from him. And all of this stuff, man. But when it went over with, they put all that blame on Larry Warford like he was the one. Larry Warford had a year left on his contract. He said, are you going to retire? He said, no, I'm going to finish out my contract. And Peyton put him in the street. And then the next year drafted Cesar Ruiz out of the University of Michigan, if my memory serves. I'm just giving y'all a game, man. We've been here before. This shit didn't happen before. Come on. Yes, I'm saying this happened before. Cesar Ruiz went through the same thing. I think his might have been a little worse because he had to switch to a position that he never played before. He had to go from center to guard and learn the guard position. And he wasn't strong enough, and he was getting pushed around. He had to bulk up. All that stuff was happening to that man. And then Doug Marrone took him, and Doug Marrone, the best thing Doug Marrone ever did for the New Orleans Saints was took Cesar Ruiz that 1 year and made him a respectable guard. Made him so respectable, Mickey Loomis gave him the check and paid him. But that was only 1 year that Cesar Ruiz was really competent. Think about what I'm saying. Go look it back up. Go look it up, man. Just keeping it real. Uncle Deuce says, yeah, Ruiz got to step it up, Q. Yeah, they all do, fam. It'll be interesting, man. What's up, Jamaica? What's going on, Queen? But yeah, at the end, this is what I'm saying, man. We got to step it up. B-Lo said the line isn't good, but I think Penning gets the attention because the hype that they sold us when they traded up to draft him, not solely on him, but he's the one that takes the spotlight, and that's rough. Yeah, it's on all of them, fam. It really is, man. That's why when y'all ask me about Trevor Penning, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's such and such, and just put it all on Penning. You notice how I do it? It take two to party, man. And I took Penning, I took the Saints, and I said, man, listen, this the Saints put him in a position. They put him in a position to fail him. They didn't put him in a successful position. I knew that he wouldn't work at the tackle position. They left him out there to burn and twist and win for Ryan Ramczyk. And I told y'all why, because they didn't want to move Ram from right to left, because Ram was dealing with an issue at the time. They was playing it off. They wasn't telling you how serious it was. It was later, years later, that they tell you he got a knee issue because it became apparent that he couldn't play. Then you start seeing his name up there last year with rest. And I'm like, hold on, Ramczyk ain't that goddamn old. Why is he needing all this rest? And then when people start questioning what the rest is, then they put the injury up there and said knee. Then they couldn't keep it out anymore. And then eventually it came out. But if you go back enough, you can understand why the Saints was paying Ramczyk all of that money. And he was playing right tackle. And the moment they had a spot that opened up, because Teron Armstead left, when Teron Armstead left to go take that Miami money, that tackle position was supposed to be Ramczyk. He was supposed to be moved from the right to the left side because that's how it goes. But what the Saints do, they told you some nonsense about the tackle positions. It don't matter who's a left or a right tackle. And people swallow that junk, man. They swallow that BS. You mean to tell me it don't matter who your tackles are, and you got a quarterback that's right-handed and the blind side, he can't see over that, so it makes sense to put your best tackle on the blind side of the quarterback, not no rookie, an untested rookie at the blind side of unless you starting all over again and you're a young team. But if you're a veteran team, that's not what you want to do. But they did not move Ram because they knew that if you put him over there, that would expose him. So they left him at the right side. They left him over there and let Penning twist in the wind. And now he looks like what he looks like, a player that only played he only started 6 damn games in 3 years. And he in his 3rd year. So when people say, Q, what's up with Penning? This is what I tell y'all. I tell y'all the truth. This guy looks like a guy that started 6 games and he on his 3rd year. I mean, now, can he fix it? Hell yeah, he can fix it. But, you know, that it takes a lot, man. He's going to have to work his ass off to get it, man. He's going to have to work his ass off to get it, bro. All right, Belo says high pad level going to be devastating for Penning. Moving inside 3 technique will eat him up if he can't get it fixed. Rose says Everson Griffin was eating the Saints whole lot much in the play. Yeah, Everson Griffin, man. And what they were basically doing was they was just moving them defensive ends inside and rushing from the inside. Y'all remember that? Saints had no answer for that. They was moving they was shifting them, putting the ends inside and and blitzing the Saints, running at them. Yeah, that was some tough days. That boy, I was so upset in that game, man. I was so upset in that game because the Saints played with no heart in that game. And then the way the game ended was ridiculous because the guy caught a touchdown. The tight end pushed off in the end zone on P.J. Williams to catch the touchdown on him in the playoff game. And then the referees said, which every touchdown, this is an old rule, every touchdown is supposed to be reviewed. Guess what the officials did in the playoff game? They elected not to review the touchdown. I said, I didn't even know that happened. That's the first time and only time that's ever happened. They elected not to review the game. I was like, this is a fixes in. Playoffs is some of the most corrupt games there. But if you play these teams close like that, you open up that door for them to roll this stuff out on you. And the Saints did it to themselves. Watching film last, you could see Penning's face. He needed help. I remember him hanging out. Yeah, it's all, brother. He don't hide it well, man. He don't hide it well. He got to get to working. Yeah, he is a rookie. Yeah, Pammy. 6. He only has 6. It's his 3rd year, and he's had 6 starts. He's a first-round draft pick. I keep saying this. He started 1 game in his rookie year, which was the last game of the season against Carolina. He played 5 games of the 2nd year. The Saints benched him for the 6th game and buried him on the active depth chart and was bringing guys from the practice squad like, what's his name? Cam Irvin. He was bringing guys like that off the practice squad and giving them meaningful minutes over him. And he's supposed to be the first-round draft pick. That's what Saints were doing. Yeah, that does a lot for your confidence, doesn't it? Why not just deactivate the guy if that's the case and whatever? But he was active on the team. And they were bringing guys off the practice squad to play in games over him. Yeah, that really Saints. Yeah, that was really smart. That really helped his confidence. See, that's what I'm saying, man. know too much about the shit to understand from both ends. And I've seen what happened. So, I mean, it is what it is. But all we can do now is see if the Saints can get this stuff together. And like I said, we've seen this before. We've seen it with Cesar Ruiz. We've seen it with Andrews Pete. When he did it, Sean Payton had him playing 4 positions. They drafted Andrews to be a tackle. He played left tackle, left guard, and right guard. Sean Payton did that to him. He struggled early, and Payton was hard on him. So we've seen this before from former first-round draft picks. It just worked out for Andrews. Andrews was able to get multiple Pro Bowls because he shifted. He was able to have the ability to shift to these different positions. And then he was able to get a couple of Pro Bowls at a position that he didn't play in college. He learned in the pros at the guard position. It worked for him. It worked out for Ruiz in 1 year because Ruiz still not where you would want him to be in terms of alignment. He still struggles. And then you have Trevor Penning. So it's not new, fam. We've seen this before with our first round draft pick offensive lineman, especially when you don't give them enough work. They struggle, or if you play them in a certain position, it just looks crazy. So the Saints, like I said, the Saints are going to, like I played the song by Diane Reeves, be patient. That's what they're going to tell the New Orleans Saints family members. Be patient. It's just what it's going to be, fam. I don't know what to tell you. All right, glad we got Sunday night football game this weekend, 49ers, because if Rattler outdoes Carr again, Dia will have more national attention. He ain't going to worry about that, CB. You're not worrying about that. Old Possum Puss is going to put that in the rearview mirror. He's going for Derek Carr is my guy. We're paying him $150 million. That's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. That's my quarterback. Now, you could put some pressure on him by family members yelling and saying if Derek Carr struggles, which hopefully the man don't struggle. I just want if the Saints, for any of this to work, is very simple. They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to run the football. They're going to have to run the football. All right. So anyway, fam, let me get on out of here, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody, man. I hope y'all had some fun with me on today's stream. Put one in the chat if y'all guys had a little fun today, man. We listened to some stuff. We had some stuff. We learned about the Saints. We had a good conversation tonight. If you had a good time playing, fam, please feel free to hit that like button. If you had a good time, hit the like button, hit the share button. If you're not a subscriber, smash on the subscribe button, baby. We in this thing, Sports Coma, doing the thing, baby, doing the thing. We always have fun, man. Much love to you guys. I always, I'm a comedian and a part entertainer, man. Part historian on this all things black and gold, baby. That's my character, man. I always like to have fun with the family members. Throw a little music in there, a little comedy in there, a little levity. Because, hey, man, let me tell you something, fam. The last several years of Saint football, we need a lot of levity. To be honest with you. I ain't going to be up here depressing y'all asses, man. We got work to do. Jeremy. All right, so anyway, man, appreciate you guys, man. Much love. Thank you. OG, what's happening, brother? Appreciate you, OG. All right, Tim says trade Carr for whatever and tell Gail is cap purposes and start Rattler. Get yourself another year or two off the hot seat. I don't think that's going to happen, bro. They're not going to start Rattler. And like I said, Rattler has to beat out Hainer. That's number one. And it's like, Q, that's no problem. He's going to do that. Okay, well, we still got 2 more weeks. You heard Dennis Allen say he ain't making no decisions right now. That happened. That has to happen when it becomes effective. Like I said, Spencer Rattler has a mission. His mission is to become the second string quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. If he does that by beating out Jake Haener, and chances are he could, then he'll be in line to be a starting quarterback, meaning he'll be the second string. And if something happens to Derek Carr, if health perspective, or if he gets plays bad, then Spencer Rattler has a chance to get in there. So if you want Spencer to be the future, you got to beat out Jake. That's not official yet. He's still got a couple of weeks to go, a couple of preseason games before old Possum Puss makes the call on who's going to be the second string quarterback. And then once that happens, then we'll move in that direction. But Dennis Allen his little red wagon is affixed to Derek's car. Pun and all that shit intended. Is affixed to his car, and that's how it's going to go. He's going to ride with Derek Carr, pun intended, all the way until he can't ride no more. He's going to ride with Derek Carr. There's 150 million reasons why he's going to ride with Carr. If Spencer, y'all understand how bad it looks for the Saints. If Spencer is a 5th-round draft pick, beats out an 11-year quarterback making $150 million, how bad that makes Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis looks. For that reason, that's why I be telling y'all that they're not going to give you that ammunition to shoot at them with. Shit, y'all don't realize who y'all dealing with? Y'all know who y'all dealing with. Man, y'all don't know who y'all dealing with. I be telling y'all, man, I know these people, man. They're not going to give your ass no ammunition to shoot at them with. They're not going to do that until they can't do it anymore. It's got to be falling through the flow for them to finally make the decision. Then the pressure and it's mounting and they forced to. Outside of any other situation, I don't see it happening. Not right now, anyway. Hope I ain't squash on some of y'all Spencer Rattler dreams. Not right away, anyway. But mission one for Spencer is to become the backup quarterback, the second string, and then after that, all bets are off because he's in line to be the guy if Derek Carr struggles or if injuries hit him. That's what the steps are. All right. So anyway, listen, let me get on up out of here, man. I know about the Atlanta stuff, OG. Yeah, they got a good one, man, and they still Simmons is down there according to them. So we'll see. He hadn't signed anything, but they're talking to Justin Simmons as well because they do need help in the secondary. That's fine, no, bro. That's our old guy. He and they're trying to improve the team, man. He knows what's at stake for him. He knows. All right, so y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. I hope y'all enjoy yourself. I'll be back on our Thursday stream, and we'll talk about some more black and gold. Much love and who that team.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right. right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the